Hermes and Apollo by Tyler Balogh. Hermes, in Greek religion and mythology, son of Zeus and Maia. He had many purposes, but he was primarily the messenger of the gods, particularly of Zeus, and conductor of souls to Hades. Hermes was the great Olympian god of herds, trade, heraldry, language, athletics, thievery, travelers and roads, of luck, of music and eloquence, of merchants and commerce, of young men, and of cheats and thieves. He was credited with having invented the lyre, the shepherd's flute, and many other things. Hermes is usually represented as a graceful youth wearing a wide-brimmed winged hat and winged sandals, and carrying the caduceus. The Romans identified Hermes with Mercury. Now for Apollo. Apollo in Greek religion and mythology is one of the most important Olympian gods, involved especially with prophecy, medicine, music and poetry, archery, and various bucolic arts, particularly the care of flocks and herds. He was also frequently associated with the higher developments of civilization, such as law, philosophy, and the arts. As patron of music and poetry, he was often connected with the Muses. Apollo may have first been worshipped by primitive shepherds as a god of pastures and flocks, but it was as god of light that he was most widely known. In Roman religion, Apollo was worshipped in various forms, most significantly as a god of healing and of prophecy. In art, he was portrayed as the perfection of youth and beauty. In Greek and Roman mythology, Apollo is known as Apollo. There is a myth which involves both Hermes and Apollo, and it starts when Hermes was still a child. He escaped from his cradle and went off on an adventure to Pieria in northern Greece. His goal was to steal the cattle from his half-brother Apollo. Once Hermes discovered the herd, one by one, he began pulling the hooves off of the cows' feet and reattaching them backwards. He did the same to his own sandals. Then he took the herd, which now seemed to be walking backwards, and hid this herd inside a cave. Apollo soon found out that his herd was missing and started searching all around. The traces he saw on his way were nothing but confusing and led the god to despair. Of course, Apollo was the god of prophecy, so he soon found out who the thief was and went furiously to Mount Selene to find Hermes in his cave. Little Hermes was peacefully sleeping inside his cradle, but Apollo didn't have any care. He grabbed the infant and took him to Mount Olympus to be judged by their master, Zeus, the king of the gods and Hermes' father. Before the eyes of Zeus, Hermes first denied everything, but in the end he had to confess. Zeus found the story quite entertaining, so he didn't punish Hermes. He only asked from him to return the herd. Regretful of what he had done, Hermes then offered Apollo his lyre as a present. The lyre was a musical instrument Hermes had created all by himself, out of the shell of a tortoise. To compensate Hermes for his kindness, Apollo returned the gesture by giving Hermes a golden rod to guide the herds. From that moment on, there was peace again in Mount Olympus, and a strong friendship began between Hermes and Apollo.